All right, what's going on, people? Welcome to Drama Free Gaming. This is DFG podcast number 28. And let me just get some housekeeping out of the way before I introduce my brothers from separate mothers. We got Jay, we got Henyo back in the house. I'm Endtime, that's XENDXTIMEX. That's my gamer tag everywhere. And just want to welcome you. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. Share this out. You will be helping us out a lot. We got other content here on youtube.com/drama free gaming. And we would appreciate if you just put it out there. We're just some regular guys just chatting it up, talking about topics that, you know, we hold near and dear, and sometimes just adding our 2 cents for whatever that's worth. But with that out the way, let me introduce Jay. What's going on, Jay?
Yo, what it is, everybody? How's life treating everybody in this cold, distant, busted world that we live in?
You're supposed to bring the energy, brother. This gloom and doom. Ain't nobody want to hear that.
Well, you know what? Somebody gotta bring the gloom and doom. All right,
gloom and doom. Dang.
That's. I'm always the villain or the anti-hero. So
he's the villain and the anti-hero. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta wear it proudly, baby. That's what I do.
Well, I was hearing pre-show in our conversation. You gotta let loose, man. I think some people need to hear you ranting a little longer. But before we get to that.
Well, I don't have a rant, so I can't rant longer.
Yeah, well, we're going to leave you alone. We'll leave you in your cage for a little while. Let's introduce our other brother from another mother. That's Henyo. What's going on, Henyo? Making his debut last episode. You need to check that out. But he's back with us again. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back. Why am I back?
You must have done something right to get invited back, right?
Yeah. The lack of drama, actually. So
the lack of drama. That's what he said. The right thing.
Well, you are at Drama Free Gaming, so the lack of drama definitely fits the scenario.
You know, I think sometimes we call it Drama Free Gaming. We want that drama free life. We're just not trying to go there, guys. Before we get into the topics tonight, I have to ask a very important question to each of y'all. I didn't prep you. We didn't talk about this pre-show, but this is very important. Is it peanut butter and jam or peanut butter and jelly? Which one is it?
Why? See, first off, why you gotta name food that I hate? Nobody want to eat no.
Well, then you out the conversation. Then next. Next. That brother want to invent his own. He can't name it. You can't even answer the question. Peanut butter and jam or peanut butter and jelly? Which one is it?
I told you, man. I go, no, peanut butter and jelly so disgusting now. I can't stand it. I don't want no crunchy. I don't want no nuts. I don't want no peanut butter. You can keep that.
Okay. My 2 cents here. Okay. Peanut butter and jelly. And it has to be after 9 o'clock at night. And I think jam is a southern term. So I'm guessing anyone north, calls it jelly. Everyone south of, I don't know, pick a state. North Carolina, you're a jam person.
Yeah, except Jay, because he's in North Carolina, but he don't want nothing to do with no jelly.
Let's just move that belt down to South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. You have people in North Carolina trying to kill me, man. Don't be doing me like that.
But let me throw this out there, because I've seen jam and jelly listed, and I think there's a difference. Jelly is more that watery stuff, and jam actually gives you the chunks of fruit in it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I don't know.
The stuff I eat is all synthetic, so.
Dang, man! How you gonna kill my icebreaker like that, man?
I'll be honest with you. What's more important to me is there is a good jelly, but to me the peanut butter is what makes or breaks it. So
I agree with you.
Peanut butter all tastes the same.
No, it don't. No, it don't, brother. No, you can tell. Can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference, Henyo? Because obviously Jay's not in this conversation. Can you tell the difference between like Skippy and Jif and Peter Pan.
Oh my God!
You know what? I think I would be able to. Yeah, I eat peanut butter and jelly. I love peanut. That's a staple here in my house. Yep. Again, it gets eaten after 9 p.m. That's my my bedtime snack. But yeah, I think I could taste it. It depends.
Yeah.
We sit here talking about peanut butter. Why we ain't talking about a steak? Why we ain't talking about some chicken? You bringing peanut butter and jelly into the conversation.
But you see, brother, let me make this clear. For you guys who don't know right now, like Jay, by his own description, he's a 6'4" black man, right?
Yes, I am.
That's Jay. And then Henyo and I are 2 Puerto Ricans, New Yorkers, right? Okay? So you talking about, if I mention chicken, people gonna be like, oh, look at these brothers. They're like racist, stereotypical, like, So, I don't want to go there, man. I'm just saying. I mean, I like me a good piece of chicken, too.
I was gonna say, you ain't opposed to eating a bird, so I don't even know.
No, I'm not.
Ain't nothing racism. Ain't nothing racist about
I'm trying to prepare you in the audience. I know between you and I, it's cool, Jay. I mean, I can talk about chicken all day, collard greens and all that, but the people out here might be like, "Dang, End Time went there with Jay, and what's going on, man?"
Well, first off, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not understand the dynamic, stay out of it. Because maybe you weren't supposed to be involved in it in the first place. Sorry. Okay.
All right. I'm just saying. But you telling that to people who are tuning in, man. Like they walked into this one.
Hey.
And then you telling them to leave. I'm trying to get people to come and listen to us, and I don't understand.
That's true. But once again, most people and everybody knows. Sometimes you got to have that one butthole.
Well, talking about that, let's jump into this. Let's jump into this, all right? Because unless one of you guys wants to share with whoever cares out there, again, hit us up on Drama Free Gaming. It's real easy to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment. I can't tell you I'm gonna answer you. I mean, if you leave something constructive, leave something worthwhile answering, I will. If you're just going to go off on a rant, I'm just going to completely ignore you. I'm just going to be honest because I really don't got the time for the nonsense. It's drama free. And definitely hit that subscribe button. And, I can't help to think, guys, is it me? Maybe it's me dreaming, but I can't help to think that maybe 5 years down the road, we might be big. Who knows? We might be some official podcast or something. I don't know.
That'd be kind of sexy. I won't lie.
I don't know. We can all quit our jobs and live off of donations. That'd be great.
I'll be able to upgrade my microphone.
There you go.
I'd be able to get a new laptop. Come on, I'm behind everybody.
Well, start making out that wish list so that, when we get to that level, we can start asking for donos and stuff. So just need a new laptop. Anyway, guys, we're messing with y'all. We do our thing. Like I said, it's a hobby and stuff. We were just talking about this, pre-show here and saying, hey, we don't want this to be nothing but a labor of love. We don't want to put no work into it. We're not like, mass producing some sort of, next Hollywood show or something. We're just loosey-goosey about stuff. And if we can just crack a smile on your face in the next hour and a half that we're probably going to spend here talking, and who knows what direction this conversation is going to take. With that, what have you guys been playing? Anybody been playing anything new, anything interesting, anything you've gone back to?
I went back to Monster Hunter recently. Me and you played a couple of rounds of Monster Hunter lately.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm still on Dragon Ball. I'm either getting my face kicked in or doing the kicking.
Cool. And yeah, the gameplay you guys are watching here in the background is footage that I capture of my first time booting up and playing Nier Automata or Automata, however you want to pronounce it. And the game really like surprised me. It's really cool. If you guys have not tried it and you happen to be on Xbox, go check it out. It's on Game Pass. So you can just boot it up, play it. I love it. And I played when I sat down and turned it on. I said, I'm just gonna check it out for a minute. I wound up playing like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours. Lost all track of time.
Are you going to beat it?
No, brother. I'm too old to be going into games and investing 60 hours of my life. No. Unless the game completely like raptures me, it ain't happening. So the game is great. I put 3 hours into it. I might go back and play a bit more. But if the game is like deep like that, which I'm getting the impression it is, it's not happening. I'm not gonna fool myself and think I'm gonna like end it. That's not happening.
So when you gonna get back on Resident Evil then?
Who knows? I don't know, brother. Anyways, let's move on from that topic. What about you, Henry? Have you been playing anything? What's that?
Yeah, I'm finishing all my games this week.
Okay.
No. No.
He's gonna finish all his games. That's what quarantine allows you to do.
Yeah, right?
I actually do try to finish games. I feel bad if I don't finish a game, so I try not to start too many games. I try to keep it a little realistic. So, with that said, MLB The Show is still on top. I'm playing March to October, which is just you're marching to October. You're not playing the full game. You're just playing an actual like scenario, a couple of at bats, a couple of pitches, and that's the game. Probably the most it'll probably be this like a 15 to 20 minute gameplay, and then the game, you go on to the next day. So MLB The Show is tops. Cool. Crisis, I'm fully engulfed in Crisis now on the Xbox because of EA Access.
Okay.
I booted that up, and on the PC I am playing X-Plane, and I am still learning how to land an airplane.
Nice.
Isn't that like a plane simulator?
It is a very tight plane simulator, and it's pretty realistic, and I'm fully engulfed in it, and it's consuming me right now. It's the one thing that's making me upgrade my PC.
Nice.
That conversation, part of the conversation we had the previous time we got together, you were talking about that flight simulator, and I think shortly thereafter, Digital Foundry did a review of the game, and they dove into it, and I was seeing some of the graphics on that and just the sim feel to it, and I said, wow, this looks amazing. It must be like an experience to get immersed and really just chill. And I don't know, man, I'm intrigued. Like, I would have never thought that I would have been intrigued to play a game like that, but I think that when it launches, I'm gonna be checking it out.
It's been a long time coming for the flight simulator world. Well, at least on the Microsoft side, X-Plane has been picking up. Where kind of Microsoft fell off on, and the thing with X-Plane, it's very like community based, in which they give you stuff to build upon, and you can add on to the game, and sceneries and airport life and stuff like that. So you could upgrade without having to pay, so that's one of the good things about that. You could download airports, scenery, grass, everything, cars and stuff like that. So, but with this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 coming out, I mean, everything's ready. You're not gonna have to worry about downloading anything, or you probably end up buying planes, which you normally do anyway. But as far as having to like upgrade, sceneries and landmarks and stuff like that, I think that's gonna go out the window. I mean, the weather system, that was another thing that you could do in X-Plane, change the weather system, or the graphics of it. That's all gonna come back to flight simulator, real life immersion. It's gonna be good. I look forward to it.
Brother, I lost you a little bit there. Got cut off like a couple of seconds. You started botting hard.
Okay.
So, but just letting you know, but I know you was talking about the maps being pretty much done, and us just looking maybe to buy the planes, the actual planes. And I think that's what we caught there towards the end. At least that's what I caught there towards the end. So,
yeah. Well, I got a question for both of you.
Yeah.
Since we're in No, you're good. Since we're in the flight sims, what do you guys think about Star Wars Rogue Squadron that's coming out?
I've only seen like a video of it. I haven't really gotten into that area yet. I got a game in dosing, man. I can't fully get involved in everything that's coming out, but
Right.
you know, I'm kind of picking my games out of what's coming out, and right now, Flight Simulators. You know that I'm pretty sure from the looks of it, Rogue Squadron looks amazing. I don't know how deep it's gonna be though.
Right. Yeah, I'm not to be 100% real. I'm not even remotely interested.
Catch that? I might try.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not remotely interested. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I've watched all the movies, but I don't follow the lore or the universe and the stories and all that other stuff. Nah, I mean I got Jedi Fallen Order that I haven't played yet, but I would love to get to that and play that. But I need to say this. I admire you, Henyo, that you actually discipline yourself to playing a handful of games and seeing them through. And I don't know, like, I don't know if it's because I've been exposed to so many games and just kind of just fell into that trap, like, oh, we got hundreds of games, I'm just gonna touch this one. There's been a couple of games that I have played and I followed through, and I noticed that most of the games that I do play and follow through are linear games. You know, they're not these big open world games with a bunch of side quest missions. They're linear games, they got a story, and they're probably about 10 hours, maybe 10 to 15 hours of gameplay, and I can see it through. But other than that, you know, The Last of Us, I always said the first one, The Last of Us, I felt that game was too long.
Really?
Yeah, I felt the game was long. I felt exhausted. By the time I finished playing The Last of Us, I felt exhausted.
I felt that way with Uncharted, I want to say 4. The last one that came out.
Yes, me too. And I finished all the Uncharted, and I felt the last one was it overstayed its welcome by like 5 chapters or something.
Yeah. I was like chapter 27, I think. I don't know. I lost count with Uncharted. The last one, the fourth one, I believe it was.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's just finish this.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was me, but when you start playing a game and a game starts to overwhelm its stay and you're not having any more fun, all you're doing is like, you want to get to the end. You just want it to be done. And that's what I was feeling with The Last of Us. I wanted it to be done. I was like, I think they're dragging out this ending. And so...
But it still was a good game overall.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying that I felt that it just dragged on. I don't know.
That's how I get with multiplayer games. I mean, you're not supposed to end in a multiplayer game, but it's like after a while I started asking myself, why am I still playing this game? I played it. I had a great time with my friends, you know, and if I'm pretty sure if they were to call me, I'd go play with them again. But why am I still playing this game after a year a year and a half? And it's like, all right, go back into your single player mode and kind of finish off your library.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, I turned around, you know, and from the last time that you was on, Henyo, and you mentioned that happened to you with the Division 2. I finally just took some inspiration from that, and I told Jay, I deleted it off my hard drive. It's gone. Like, I had to do like I did with Destiny. I had to cut the ties completely, and not even have it available to me so that I just don't fall back into it. Because I love the game. I love the setting. I love the game loop. But I was done. I was like, why am I playing this game? Like you said, why am I playing? There's no progression for me. I don't have access to the harder content. If I do, it's a serious investment of time and grinding. And I'm not willing to do that.
No.
I'm just not willing to do that. So,
which is which probably segues into our next topic, in which you have a library of games that you want to just try out. You
yeah,
want to just play it for a little bit. You want to to see what the hype was all about.
Right.
And that's where something like Xbox Pass comes in handy, in which
Yeah.
you could just let me find out what this. I don't want to spend $59 on it.
Right.
I'll wait for it, and when the time comes around, it drops on Xbox Pass or whatever
Yeah.
other membership system. In my case, I like EA games for the most part, so I became what I think they call EA Access.
EA Access, yeah.
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 So
EA
I'm a
Access.
member to that.
Okay.
And they have a couple of titles there, especially with the sports titles. You know how fast sports titles after that first year, they're done. They're done.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I play, I'll play the trailing end of the last season, and the game is just as good. The graphics are still there. The community provides a roster for you to download. So, so what I'm playing last year is Madden. Am I really missing out on a lot?
Right.
NBA Live and FIFA. I love FIFA. FIFA is great sports to play.
Yes.
So in those respects, you could go back into these games and try them out selectively and see what's different from year to year, or try out something new and something out of your genre that you're not used to playing. It's just no real investment, just a yearly membership.
And I always thought, you're talking about the EA Access, and you mentioned specifically the sports, like back in the days. We played the Madden and we played the NHL hockey, the NBA. And I always ask the question, even then, why a whole new quote unquote game every year? I understand why now. It's all about that money. But why not update the rosters? Why not, update the look of the game and the stadiums and this and that and the other? And that's what we call today games for service, right? Where they just keep adding to the game.
Yeah, more or less.
So
DLC.
since Henyo opened that can of worms, that's really our main topic today. Is Game Pass, and we can talk about EA Access. We can talk about anything that it looks similar to that on any other platform, PC, PlayStation, whatever. But is Game Pass, because that's what it's called now, no longer Xbox Game Pass, just Game Pass. Is Game Pass the evolution of gaming, for better or for worse? What do you guys think? I mean, everybody's cheerleading Game Pass. Game Pass is touted as the best value, the best bang for your buck. Henyo just mentioned you don't have to make that $60 investment and purchase a game only to find out that the game sucks in your opinion, and then you're out $60. It's a subscription model. So what do you guys think? Is it really that great, or can there be something more sinister down the line? And that's where my thought is at.
Well, first off, I want to ask you guys a question. This all evolves on the same thing. Can you guys tell me the prototype Game Pass? Who came up with it first, and what was it called?
The prototype Game Pass.
And if I tell you, you're going to get mad and you're going to agree with me.
Hold on.
No, don't look it up. Look it up.
You hear?
No. I was Googling my brain.
No, don't you cheat. Would you like me to tell you?
Prototype Game Pass. I'm trying to think here, brother. Like,
yeah. I know there was something out there.
I mean, the closest guess that I can get to something that looked like that was when they would package, like when you have like a Sega packaging in like 20 games on one disc and you get all the greatest hits.
No.
I think I'm gonna put in my vote as like Blockbuster, when you used to rent games. All you had to do was just be a Blockbuster membership, and you would rent a game per night, or for 5 nights or whatever.
Okay, well, you're both wrong. Gentlemen,
Good.
And I'm about to make y'all like explode here. Do you guys ever remember a platform called the Sega Channel?
The Sega Channel.
Jeez.
I
What
remember
was
the Sega Channel. Yeah.
Oh
And
my
what was the
lord.
Sega Channel? It was a subscription-based service that gave you free games that you could play without buying any kind of Genesis or Sega product.
Mm.
What is Microsoft Game Pass?
Yeah, it's a subscription. It's a
And
subscription model.
yes, so the originator of this whole thing is the Sega Channel. Sega did it in the 90s. We didn't have a whole bunch of like internet, and
Yeah, we
weren't
didn't have the
as
infrastructure for it.
yeah. We had dial-up back in those days. Y'all young folks, y'all don't know nothing about plugging in your phone, listen to the dial tone, gotta wait for a minute, then you on the internet.
Yeah, no, not
That's
wait
what,
for a minute, more like 10, 15 minutes.
so Sega Channel is the basis for all the subscription stuff. It is. I consider it like the what would be a good word for it? I mean the beta. It would be the beta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get
Like yeah, but I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, adding on to what we're talking about, but knowing that Sega Channel is kind of where it all originates from.
Well, I mean, to see that, and you got a point there. Like, there's nothing new under the sun, and people just iterate on ideas and make it work eventually. But I don't know how successful the Sega Channel was. I didn't have any direct experience with it. My thought with Game Pass is where we're at now with Game Pass. It's an amazing deal, okay? And let me say something to preface all of this. I've said here many times, I prefer Xbox for countless reasons because of, my friends being on it. I like the controller better than I like the PlayStation controller. But that don't mean that I don't have all the other platforms. I've always had all the other platforms, play on any platform. I'm a gamer by choice, not by, compulsion. I'm not, no one has a gun to my head. But Game Pass, I'm looking at it now. It's amazing. It's amazing. For a small investment, you're getting access to over 200 games now, all first-party games that come out, moving forward with Xbox. All first-party studios are going to drop their games right into Xbox. And we've seen Xbox reach out and get other games on the platform now, like Red Dead Redemption 2. That's a big get. And other games that are on there. But I can't help to think, like you were just talking about, as a subscription model, what does that mean for gaming into the future? What kind of games can we expect? Are we going to expect AAA games like we expect today, or are we going to get piecemeal games? How are games going to evolve? That's what I'm thinking about right now. Y'all guys have thought about that?
I constantly think about those games, and which it's just you're not getting a full game when you buy a game. You're getting something that they're going to continue adding on.
Exactly.
With the Xbox Pass, what you're doing is just extending the lifetime of that game and the ability for the DLC to make more money for the developers. So that's why I say I bought in on the Xbox Pass. I've been an Xbox Pass member for a while now.
Yep, same here.
It was the first subscription, even prior to all others. And I've been enjoying it. I cross-platform is good for me too, because on the PC side, I also benefit from that.
Right.
And you got benefits and stuff like that you get off of it. Reward points for buying stuff. Which are you familiar with Xbox Rewards?
Oh yeah, the incentives are there. Oh yes, definitely.
You get reward. It's like doing a search on Bing. You get points, and with those points, you could just add on to your membership. You could buy 3 more months, or extend whatever rewards you want on your subscription.
Right.
So, I mean, a little quick benefits like that kind of intrigue me more into getting this.
It's a good benefit, man. Believe it or not, this brother religiously goes by the Microsoft rewards. I don't know. That brother be on it, man. I'm sorry to say it.
And I be trying to tell these guys, who are on the Discord community, who hang out with me, and I tell them, I preach it to them. You're leaving money on the table. You rent any movie or purchase any movie through the Xbox store, the Microsoft store, any games, you're getting points. Why would you not cash in those points? It's money. You're leaving it on the table. My subscription for Game Pass Ultimate, I listen, I got converted over from Live. Like when I cashed it in, it extended my membership into 2021 with the game rewards and cashing in my Bing points. I'm paid through March 2022.
Yeah, I think I'm in a similar situation in which
God.
Yeah, good sound.
Yeah. I hope it burns like a fire in your butt for being hard-headed.
Well, no, it's not gonna burn the fire in my
Okay,
butt.
well then you keep giving your money. Keep giving your hard-earned money, $15 a month, and I'm just gonna be playing games off the sweat of your brow. You the one paying. I'm not.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I ran it last time. Now this brother ranting over Game Pass and Microsoft rewards. There you go.
I'm not ranting over that. I'm ranting over that. My brother, who I've been preaching to from the inception of this program, get on board, man. If you get on board, you're gonna be set. I ain't got time for that. You ain't got 10 minutes, 5 minutes of your life to click some button. And you're doing it every day. It's okay. It's okay. Brothers. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask you for your email, your account, and I'm just going to run that. I'm going to run it. I'm going to get your points. That's what I'm going to do. You know what? You, and I know Dusty's going to listen to this. Dusty's the same as well. He's like, oh, man, I ain't got time for that, this or that, or whatever the excuse is. Yeah, March 2022. And I'm already stacking points. I'm getting ready to buy 3 more months to extend it even further, just because I can. It's crazy. But back to the topic. Is there that you hit it on the head, Henyo. I'm thinking now, this gen, we've been getting games that launch and are incomplete. Day one patches means, we're going to give you the rest of the game because we didn't include it in the launch. We're going to give you the rest of the game, but we're still developing the game. A good example, Destiny, Division, all these games. Anthem is back on the drawing board. Anthem 2.0, Anthem Next, whatever they're going to call it. That's not going to be out for a while. But all these, it's like this culture has developed. And on one end, they're getting rid of, supposedly fighting against getting rid of loot boxes. But on the flip side is these games for service, that's how they make their money. And my concern, I'm not going to say fear. My concern is like the announcement of Halo Infinite. Okay, this is what got me thinking about this. Halo Infinite is doing a reboot. Okay, and so it's gonna be an open world game or semi-open world, and all I keep hearing is there's gonna be a story, but how do you keep a game alive? You keep a game alive with content, and if it's going to be an open world kind of a la Destiny, then you're gonna get expansion packs, additional missions. Like back in the days when you used to buy the maps separately. For Halo, they would sell you, the map separately. For Call of Duty, the same thing. Well, now I'm thinking, are games going to be developed in such a manner that those of us who have Game Pass, we're going to benefit this and that and the other. We're going to be playing these games. But how do you make your money with these expansions?
More content.
More content. So they already want to push games from $59.99 to $69.99 because they're talking about inflation and this and that and the other. I had a chat about this before, but are the experiences that we're gonna get or we can expect, is that gone? Is that like something of the past? Should we just be preparing ourselves to open our wallets and just be invested in a game? And if we're gonna be invested in that game, to be paying for years and years and years on end?
Go ahead, Henyo.
I think. Thank you, Jay. I think developers are, they're aware of that. People are sick and tired of this same, here's a game, here's some more content, pay up. I think they're coming around to that slowly. Will they continue it? Yeah, they're gonna continue it because it just keeps money. You're not just buying a $59 game. You also now some games I think even have some like yearly memberships that you have to continue paying every year to continue playing the game
Yep.
or exclusive content to it.
Yep.
So you're not even playing. You're not even paying for a one-time hit DLC. You're paying for the membership of the continued playing.
Right.
Of that DLC.
Right.
So maybe they could offset the cost at the beginning of it, but they are aware that the community is not going to go for it, and at some point, I mean, you got your diehards that are going to pay $59.99. That's the case with me with the show. I'm a perfect example. Yeah, I'm gonna buy the show every year. Until it decreases in quality, probably, and then what? What am I going to be left with? I don't have another baseball game to go to. So, you kind of, if you're a fan of the series, you're gonna pay. If you're not a fan of the series, you wait it out. You wait for the price drop. You play a couple of levels, or you do your thing on with a paid service like Xbox, EA Access, or PlayStation Now.
So would you be okay if a game, let's say like MLB The Show, stops putting yearly iterations of their game, and let's say they call it MLB The Show Infinite. Now it's a platform, and we're just going to add rosters, add changes, add gameplay, add modes. Would you be cool with that? Would you subscribe to that?
Now you're crossing over. Yeah, I mean, it would be a service. Would I be into that? I don't.
Yeah, games as a service. It becomes a games as a service. You're used to getting your game, your $60 game, and you know what to expect. This is the package. This is what I'm getting, and that could be for any game. That's why I'm saying MLB The Show, but it could be, a linear game like we're used to in Halo. You got your story component, you got your multiplayer on the side, but you got your game is there. Now it becomes a game for service.
Does
that make sense?
Again, it's interesting, but I don't see it realistically. Only because all right, so now you're just changing the software on that you download. Okay. And that's what's gonna happen regardless. So all they're gonna do is probably just change the code in the background and then present you with a new game for this year. So it's on its way, I guess. If you want to put it that way, you're not receiving a disc anymore, so the code is not on that disc anymore. Now it's you're downloading the code every time you update the game, or you install the game on your system from the cloud. So I mean, it's almost like we're there already.
Yeah, well, that's my point,
Jay. What
do you think, Jay? Like, what's your take on it?
Well, I'm not a huge fan of games of service, being 100% honest with both of you. I think the best model game that I've played lately that fits the model that's best for me are games like Monster Hunter. They give you free updates, free monsters, and you ain't got to pay a dime. And guess what? They have the most loyal following. Phantasy Star Online, free to play. The only thing you got to pay for is costumes and items. I'm fine with stuff like that. Why do I need to go out here, buy a game? You getting $60 off me. I want your game. Cool. Oh, well, by the way, you're not getting all of it. We're just going to give you a part of it. You got to pay X amount for the other half. Man, no. Go kill yourself.
So you think? Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
If you want, for me, and I've told you this, if you want money from me, give me all of the game, not half, not partial. Give me all of it. And if it's worth my time, you'll get more money. If it ain't, you get nothing. That's just my feelings about all of it.
That's fair. I mean, and I agree with you. How sustainable is that model? You know, where, and there's only a few games who are having, and this is my opinion, I might be wrong, there might be more, but I believe there's only a few games who have been able to sustain their game, the base game, by offering cosmetics, you know, and the community has rallied around that game, and they've been able to put out more expansions. I'm thinking of a game right now that escapes my mind. Oh, Warframe. Warframe has a tremendous community. I played Warframe for a bit. I never got deep into it. I enjoyed myself. I saw what Warframe had to offer, and I was like, I understand why people play this game. I always said that Warframe, if I would have played Warframe before I played Destiny, I would have never played Destiny. I would have stayed on Warframe. And Warframe has that community. They come out with the expansions, the content, this and that, but you're buying, and you can earn everything in game. It's a grind though, but you can earn it. But you get a lot of cosmetics and a lot of other stuff, and that's how they sustain themselves. But not every game that's out there can sustain themselves that way. They just don't, for whatever reason, they just don't hit that market or have that following. And so this is one of those things that is making me think, like, the shift that's happening, like what Henyo said, we're getting that not from a disc no more, we're getting it from the cloud. And it's been happening. We just don't even notice it. Like, I'll give you an example. The new Spider-Man, Miles Morales, right? That's the new Spider-Man. It's already a known fact that content can be played on the PS4. Is no need for it to be locked into the PS5. Yet, that's the reality. It's locked to the PS5. So if you want to play that content, you got to get the hardware and you got to pick up the game to play it there.
Well, you know,
they could have easily flipped the switch.
Sony knows how to make money.
How sustainable is that? That's my point. And I don't care about how they make money or how sustainable it is. How does it, you know, how do we look at it? You know, as gray heads in gaming, you know, is this something that we should be, because no one's talking about it. As far as I'm concerned, no one's talking about it. I haven't heard anybody say, hey, there's something more happening here. And I don't think I'm the only one out there, but it's just something to think about. I mean, we're gamers. We're going to invest into whatever we want to invest and play and whatnot. But it's just really curious, at least to me, to think about the games for service, the model, how easily so many games can fit into that scheme, into that profile. And here we are, you know, used to $60 experiences. Now it's piecemeal, and that can be across the board.
You know, it's really, as far as coming up from when gaming was back in when you didn't really have all this extra nonsense. I don't like the way it's going, but you know, we don't control the market. Fandoms and communities do. I mean, that's a main reason why a lot of games last as long as they do. Because the stronger your community, the longer your game can live. But a lot of companies sometimes kind of, excuse my better word, shit on their communities, forget about them, and then their games die out quick.
Yeah, they made their quick dollar. I think it's also it's almost like you know how you grew up with certain type of music, and you grow older, and the older you get, the worse contemporary music sounds to you.
It don't make no sense. That ain't music.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So you still got this core of gamers that like, I grew up with this type of framework, right? And I'll stick to it. I like this type of gameplay. I'll stick to it, right? And it's transitioning over the years with more DLC, more content. Certain games on the console, you just can't create like user, like on the PC. You have that user community that could create content and put it on the market or add stuff to it. So with console is a little bit different. So you're almost at a point that you have the old school mentality, accepting the new wave only because you like that type of gameplay, and you're willing to go, all right, if I have to subscribe to something, I'm willing to pay for it.
Right? I am. You're right.
Because it's the new thing. But someone who's 15 years old now at this point going, oh yeah, I subscribe to this because that's the game.
They're not even thinking, right? They're not even thinking that way.
Right. They don't have an allegiance to a type of gameplay or a game genre.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So they're still fresh to it. Versus us, which we're kind of being molded into like, you gotta accept this technology. You gotta accept this new way of, buying games almost. And you stick to it because that's the genre you like. That's the music you like. That's the what you've been listening to since 15 years old. So that's the one part that this generation right now is facing, which it's like I don't want to pay $59 for a game, subscribe for another $29.99, and then buy content on the side for $19.99, and on top of that I gotta grind to get a certain weapon that you can't buy. So you're investing a lot of time, a lot of money, and at my age I don't have both.
Yeah. Big shout out in the chat, by the way, to my son Caleb. He is in the chat checking us out. He says, "Big up, boys, 100. Keep up the great work." And he's looking at this Nier Automata gameplay, and he's like, he can't wait to check it out. So yeah.
Hey, what it is, Caleb?
Yeah, so he's on here.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Just to make that my point, every time I go to GameStop, they ask me if there's anything else. I say, yeah, do you sell time?
Yeah, I hear you.
Wait a minute, you still shop at GameStop?
Well, when it was open,
it ain't no shame, brother. Like I go to GameStop. I still support.
I love going to GameStop.
I support my local GameStop. I don't care what people say is going out of business, this and that and the other. You know what? I got a great friend who happened to be the store manager there, and I'm just like, I go and I contribute. At least I feel like if I'm like giving some money, it's to help him, with his salary. I don't care about GameStop. So that's just how I feel about it.
I go in there. Sometimes I go in there with my hands up in the air. What up, family?
There you go. It's like, but it's like the point that you just make, Henry, and I think it's a great point. That one just like went over my head. Yeah, we are some gray heads. Like we're used to a certain way of things, and seeing how, a 15-year-old this generation, it's the norm. Like my youngest daughter, she plays Fortnite on her Switch. That's all she plays. Now Fortnite is free to play. You will not catch me dead playing Fortnite. You couldn't pay me $1 million to play Fortnite. I'm not playing Fortnite, but she plays it. And how often doesn't she tell me?
I will give high fives when they get that victory, though.
Right? And how often does she come to me and tells me, "Oh, there's this skin, Dad, and it's $5.99 or whatever it is." And I'm like, okay, but if I start like counting up how much money I've given her to invest into that game, it's like, wait a minute, I could have bought me like 3-4 games already. Yeah. What am I doing? But it's that culture, and that's how it makes that money. I'm thinking of games. Yeah, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of games like, how about like Forza Horizon? You know, what if it converts into being that type of model where now you're purchasing cars, you know, in this big open world? If they're gonna extend the map, now you're buying another area, you know, and instead of it being DLC, I'll give you a good example. I was going to check out Final Fantasy 14 because I saw a YouTuber playing it, and I was like, yo, this game looks pretty cool. I want to just check it out. And he's like, yo, go check it out. It has the content. You can play 30 hours of content or 30 days of content for free. And this, I'm like, bet. I'm going to go check it out. I just want to experience this. So I got on there and I'm looking at it. And it's like, after 30 days, then it's a subscription, like on a monthly basis to play this game. And I was
So
like,
what are you getting for your monthly subscription?
I didn't care. I don't want to play no subscription for one game. I was like, I'm not doing it. I said, nope. And for me, it was like, no, I ain't got the money to be on one game, to be invested like that. But, you know, in a way, that's how it is Game Pass. You know, the only thing I see on Game Pass is 200 plus games, more games coming. I see Game Pass more like Netflix. I don't even think about the subscription for Netflix.
Right.
Mind you, I don't pay the $15 for Netflix. My phone company does, but you know, because I'm always looking for like, you know, the bargains and whatnot, and you know, not like Jay and Dusty who won't even cash in the Bing points. But
There you go, taking shots. All
I'm
right,
just saying, man. Hey, my phone company pays my Netflix. I don't pay for Netflix. I don't pay for Disney Plus because I got a 1-year subscription just because of the TV I bought. I was like, bet. And guess what's gonna happen once the year's done? I'm canceling Disney Plus because I've seen everything on it. That's it. I'm done. I don't need it. But
that's true.
you know what I'm saying? It's like that subscription model. I just feel like it's going to evolve, and I guess for us gray heads, you know, we gonna be taking along, kicking and screaming, and saying we don't want this, we don't want this. But eventually, we're gonna have to succumb to the reality of it.
We don't
I
have.
think you pick. Yeah, I think we'll pick our spots. You know, we'll pick. You know what we like. Like, you know, right now I'm actually debating whether I should continue with EA Access and try out what is it? The Sony game now, I think they call it, or
PS
Sony
Now, PS Now, yes,
PS Now.
yeah.
Because I you know, I've been playing a lot on the PS, so
Mm-hmm.
you know, I haven't really tried their service at all. So I was wondering, okay, so what's the difference between the the PlayStation subscription and
Mm-hmm.
this? And it's like, you know, you get more titles versus us giving you only 3 titles a month, you know,
Right.
for you to try out. Which I'm happy with the PS Plus. That's it, PS Plus subscription. You
Mm-hmm.
know, 3 games a month. Okay, I'll try a game, and if I like it, fine. If not, fine. You know, but the PlayStation Now, you know, you get to look. You could go into PS2 games,
Mm-hmm.
PS3 games, and PS4 games. So you could like, you know, you could really go in there and look for games that you didn't get a chance to play when during that time period. Which I'm pretty sure I could find maybe 1 or 2 gems in there.
Yeah.
You know, for the sake of, okay, you know, for this year I won't do EA Access because I've pretty much, you know, ran through their library. The library is very small, by the way.
Right. It is.
The EA,
It is.
the EA Access, it's very small, but you get previews on games before they release. They give you discounts on games before they release, and you know, you just get to go back and play a couple of sports games that, you know, you didn't get a chance to.
Right.
So there's a little bit of debating going on right now with my EA Access account and PlayStation Now account. As far as Xbox, that's not going nowhere.
Alright.
My Xbox Pass is just not going nowhere. There's too much for me, you know, between the PC and the Xbox. So
Yeah.
that subscription stays.
Yeah. I'm in the same camp. My Xbox Game Pass is not going anywhere. It's like I'm so invested, and then after building the computer, and checking out, I play Moonlighter on the computer. I just downloaded Neon Abyss for through Game Pass for the PC, and some other games on there. And yeah, the bang for the buck is like, yeah, it's a no brainer for me.
You also
But
get discounts.
yeah, yeah.
All right, we're like fanboys here now at this point.
Well,
But
yeah. I mean, I mean, Game Pass is a great value, and it's just it's something it's something fresh, it's something new, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about how it's a shift that again younger people might not see it. It might be to them like, oh, it's like Netflix, this and that. But for like us gray heads, we're looking at it like, wow, I ain't got to drop $60 on a game. I can just pay this, and I got access to all of this. And what's exciting, those first party games, it's just, yeah, it's a great deal. It's a great deal. But
some of them are way older than they should. Still be online.
right.
But they're like they could almost start falling into the realm of just classic gaming. That you just want to go back and finish.
Have you noticed though that retro has made such a strong comeback that a lot of AAA games can't even keep up with a lot of the retro stuff because a lot of the AAA stuff is just falling off.
Yeah. Well, you talking about retro. That's a good segue to what this topic should be. Like, this is kind of like a side topic because, but you guys we've been alive long enough to have seen multiple various platforms launching systems and games and promises made and whatever. And I just want you guys to just maybe share what are some of the most memorable, for better or worse, things that maybe when you was younger you was hyped for. Maybe you got into fist fights with somebody because you were part of that console war stuff. I mean, I don't know. Any fond memories of anything that you want to share to kind of give perspective, because I come across it. I come across people, again, I leave a comment on another person's video and I make comments like, hey, for this generation, I've been alive long enough to see multiple launches. And I think that neither PlayStation nor Microsoft has wowed me with their presentations. Mind you, we're in a pandemic. Mind you, there's no E3. I can't wait for E3 to come back, to be honest. But none of them have really caused me to jump on my seat and go, oh man, I can't wait to play that game. I haven't had that feeling in a long time.
Well,
so share it. You guys share some memories or something about, system launches, and are you excited, or is it just you've seen one, you've seen them all?
Well, people need to understand first and foremost, most of us gray heads, we didn't have the internet and we didn't have E3. We had Game Pro Magazine, Electronic Gaming Monthly, Game Fan, and when we had to learn about a new system, Nintendo would put out an article. Hey, this is a Super Nintendo. You would read about it. You'd be like, oh my God, that system, I need to play it. I got to have it. Now it's like, hey, how about you watch this virtual thing? Man, you know what? I've been through this so much. There's too much money in the game. Microsoft and Sony should be ashamed of themselves for not doing better. Period. Too much money.
So were you more excited back in the days than you were today? Like now?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Were you one of those kids like you would strain your eyeball watching the little, picture, the still frame picture in a magazine, and you would just like imagine yourself playing the game?
Yeah, like when Gears of War 2 on Xbox 360 first came out, I read about it in a magazine. I didn't see, that's when games were really starting to do trailers. Mm-hmm. And when I would pick up, I was still reading magazines, and they had a breakdown on Gears of War 2 about, the story and how the gameplay was. And I was more interested in, what people were saying. And I was like, wow, okay, that's a great context. Now it's just, here's the gameplay. Looks amazing.
No, here's the CG graphics. No gameplay. Ain't no gameplay. Come on, get it right. Get it
Yeah,
right.
I can't even deny that fact. And that's what's so sad about today's world is people need to stop relying on all the crap that's going on now. Like Microsoft, yes, we all know you guys got tons of money. You can build a system with tons of power that can rival PCs, but PC will surpass you in about 6 months because PC technology never stops. Console technology does.
But
So I mean,
people getting hot about this, Jay. People getting into fist fights. They're like, "Oh, didn't you see that Sony blew away Xbox showcase? What show was you watching?" Like, man, you never said like. I got comments like that. I actually had a respectful back and forth with someone because I just felt compelled to just answer this one person, and I'm so glad the person didn't get nasty. At one point, they just didn't go there, but I kept saying to myself, like, dude, it's my opinion. I put it in my very first comment that 200, almost 300 people like gave me a thumbs up and whatever they replied, but this one person just stuck out and they were like, man, you must be like really like specific on what you like, because didn't you see the show? Didn't you see what Sony put out? And I just was like, okay.
well, you got to remember, man. First off, people just want to troll just for the sake of trolling.
I don't think the person was trolling. I think the person was just really impassionate about like their brand or whatever it was. And I get that. I understand that. But it's just like, is it necessary? Like you said, I think that the presentations, yeah, we can blame the pandemic, delaying stuff, E3 not being here, but I kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, this is Microsoft culture. This is what I know what to expect from them. This is PlayStation culture. This is what I expect from them. Nintendo really doesn't care. They're going to do their own thing. And that's what I can expect. And PC is just like in the background, just laughing at all the console players anyways. They're like, pfft.
Oh,
They're like, y'all get excited about tech that we've had for like 10 years.
No PC heads are sitting around looking at TV like, really? Y'all guys are slugging it out for this.
Say something, Henyo, because Henyo's in that PC realm more than we are.
You go. Let him have it.
And to that point, I've always been a PC guy. From the minute that I first realized, I think it was Windows 95, realized that I could play a game on a PC. It was like, okay, Sega Genesis, Nintendo, that's cool and stuff like that. But then I started like really looking at, what does the PC have to offer, running Doom and what was it, Wolfenstein and all those, good games that we just couldn't get yet on those consoles. And it was like, you guys argue about that. You guys argue about games on the console. But PC has always been the what you call it, it's always been the big neutralizer to everything. It's just like, okay, whatever you guys are fighting about is insignificant.
right? Yeah.
Because it's all right, saying so you have the capability of upgrading on the fly and stuff like that, and enhancing the graphics versus your system is locked in at whatever it is at.
Right.
If you have the proper hardware to view this on, if you had a flat screen TV or you had a 27-inch screen, or did you play on a 13-inch? Did you ever play Tommy Lasorda on a 13-inch screen TV?
Oh,
it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah.
But if you put it on a 27-inch TV, it looks pixelated as shit.
Yes.
It looks all pixelated.
Yes. Yes.
That's what PC was able to do so well with its resolution and high quality stuff. So to me, I don't think I ever argued about this game is better on that system, because back in the back pocket or in the back of my mind, I knew on the PC side there was so much more to improving a game and having fun with a game and customizing a game. That's the one thing that really never filled my gaming spirit, the ability to change that console game to the way I want it for it to look. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was big into baseball games, as Sam's mentioned. I EA came out. EA used to make games for all the consoles, including PC. And when I started playing the MVP EA Sports series on a PC, I totally crossed over to PC to the point that consoles did not even matter to me. It was like, I'm not getting that game on a console. I'm getting it on a PC. Why? Number one, I think it was like maybe $20 cheaper. Two, fully customizable with a community base. And this is once the internet really started, kicking up. After the 56K broad modems, when people started realizing, oh, Ethernet,
Yes. That's what
when
changed the
people
game
realized
right there.
that changed the game. Why?
Yep.
Because you were able to download content faster and play online and stuff like that. And the ability for me to take a picture of my face and put it in the game was that right there would end all arguments with consoles.
What Rainbow Six game was? Was it that used the camera to try to take a picture of you and put it on the character?
Yeah, absolutely,
I
absolutely. I
forgot
still
which,
get those
but no, I'm
pictures.
talking about on a console, and that picture of
Oh,
you
on a console?
looked busted. Like
Yeah. Yeah. What game was it?
there was a
There
Rainbow
was a
Six
couple.
game. I don't know if it
Yeah,
was Vegas.
I forgot which one. There have been attempts when
Yeah,
they
yeah,
realized that
but it was
people
terrible.
wanted more stuff. Yeah,
It was terrible.
and that's why I've always stuck to the PC side of things. It's like, yeah, I'll play it. I'll get a console. Of course, I'm gonna get a console. That's where my friends are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm by myself on the PC side. Honestly, I could maybe count on one hand, maybe four fingers, how many PC gaming friends I have.
yeah. The PC bug didn't hit me. I didn't see it until now. Until a couple of years later, where I should say, not later, that I really saw it and I said, oh, this is what my friend Cisco, I grew up with him. I would talk to him. He was that geeky guy that was into the computers, building computers and talk that computer language. I would talk with him and it was like Jay in the last episode. He said all I heard was wah 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 wah. I would tell him, "Yo, you got to talk to me and explain this to me like in kindergarten style because I have no clue what you're talking about." And he was deep into the PC gaming. Yeah, he had a PlayStation, and we would play the PlayStation, but I never got into the computer because I felt intimidated. I was like, you got to know all this stuff, and what if your computer blows up or something, and then you're left with nothing? And yeah,
Make sure
it
everyone's on
just
the same
intimidated me.
version. Yeah, there was
Yeah,
addicts to the PC side of things, but that's what made it fun. That's what made PC gaming so much fun. The ability that you're gonna spend some time to play that game, and you're gonna
right.
update it, and you're gonna make sure everyone's on the same version, and you got everything set up, and I think one of the first multiplayer experiences I had was actually on a PlayStation.
Hmm.
Me and my friend from the first floor, we hooked up a PlayStation Link and we played each other Command and Conquer.
Wow.
Right now, multiplayer game
Oh.
was happening way before that, but we played Command and Conquer and we put our backs to each other for the sake of not seeing each other's boards. So that was my real type of
Yeah.
multiplayer gaming. Which my opponent was right next to me, but yet we were over the wire.
Right.
Then I told them let's play. Damn, I'm trying to remember this game now. It was a multiplayer game, and I got my friend Kenny G. I'm dropping names here, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine.
they're all from the building across the way,
Right.
and I went crazy setting up everyone's laptop, everyone's PC, everyone converged in one single house. And I
Wow.
told them, just bring your PC, just bring your PC. I'm gonna set everything up. Spent like an hour and a half setting everybody up, making sure everybody's on the same, everything. And it was
Right.
just a labor of love because you knew at the end of the night, everyone was going to have a great time. Everyone was just going to be like, when are we going to hook up again? And we played that multiplayer game for hours. I'm trying
Man.
to remember the name of it, but I mean, I don't know how to describe it when it comes down to PC gaming. It's just, you invest in it and you make it yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Versus a
yeah.
console, you just flip the switch, put in a disc. I'm playing, nothing invested. I'm dropping off. I don't want to play with you no more.
Right.
But when you really get into it, when you take care of your hardware, you upgrade your hardware, you customize stuff, and you get your friends involved, and everyone's participating in this. There's a little bit of unity, a little bit of we're in this together.
Yeah.
And that's what makes the PC realm a little bit more together than all these console wars that going on.
Yeah. You know what I like in
argue.
it? You know what I like in it too, Jay? I liken it to like you ever seen when like a car club gets together, and they just bringing in their cars and everybody has, their vehicles, decked out.
Oh
and
yeah.
and everyone is just like looking at each other's cars and like, yo, those are some fat rims, and yo, look at that, look at the interior, look at the lights, look at the engine, da 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 da. That's how PC is. That's how I describe it. Like you got your rig,
Appreciation.
you got your rig and you're running it, and then you see your friend, and your friend is like, yeah, check out this, check out this new graphics card I got, and you're like, oh, that's dope, and you start thinking about your card, and you're like, maybe it's time to upgrade. Yeah, it gets pricey. Like it's so accessible, but at the same time it's pricey if you're always chasing after like the next thing. But with that, I want to ask you, Henya, if you don't mind, because you've been talking about you got your hardware ready to go. What are you running and what are you upgrading to?
Oh gosh.
I mean, you ain't got to get into specifics,
it's,
but
it's all sitting in a box there. Basically, I'm an Asus guy, so I like Asus boards.
okay.
I just finished picking up one of their, what is it? One of their, I think it's called Strike F Gaming series. And of course, I'm upgrading to an i7 9700K. I think it is, or something like that. I haven't looked at like I literally bought this stuff and just put it in a corner because I don't want to think about it.
Okay.
And so far I got my motherboard. I got two sticks, two SSD sticks that I'm gonna throw in there, and then I haven't bought my video card yet, only because I don't think I'm ready to buy a video card yet, because something else is coming along. So I don't want to commit to buying something now that I know in less than 6 months they're gonna make a big announcement.
Right.
So I'm kind of holding off. Plus, I'm still also waiting on a monitor to pick, because what's the biggest piece of equipment or the best piece of equipment that you're gonna get for your gaming system?
Right.
What you're gonna be looking at, right? So you want to make sure that whatever you pick is gonna be a sound investment for now and for the future. I'm not buying another computer monitor in the next 2 years. That's gonna be with me for a while.
So what do what screen, what resolution you have for your screen right now? What are you running?
Oh, I just have dude, I don't even remember why I bought this screen. It's just a generic Samsung, 60 hertz. It's maybe 1080p, but
okay.
I think it's like 10 milliseconds, which is a lifetime now in gaming world.
Jay, I'm sorry, you're hearing wah 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 wah.
Yeah, that's what he's hearing. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I don't want to get too deep.
No, go ahead.
No,
go ahead,
but
brother.
but I want to take it as a moment to like an education moment. Like, let's explain that. Like, on computer monitors, it's probably one of those things that when you're a novice, I went through that experience, and I'm actually paying the price for that now. You build a rig and you invest into your graphics card, you invest into your CPU, you invest into your your RAM and all this other stuff. And you go, all I need is a screen to run it. And you're not thinking, I'm not going to see what's running under the hood on a 1080, screen. Like I got a 1080 27-inch MSI 1080 resolution, and it runs 144. hertz, but I'm like, dag man, I could easily be running 2K 4K on this, 1440 or 2460, but I'm stuck with it for now.
No.
I mean, well, I know. See, both of you guys have basically. I'm sure you have a custom PC, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we built our computers. Yeah.
Well, see, once again, I have a laptop that I bought. Like, I've been thinking about building the computer. I know it's a large investment, and I know you definitely got to know what you're dealing with and doing, because I've seen the painful process that N-Tom went through.
That was just me going at it with getting no help. I had nobody else in my circle, man. Henyo wasn't around. I could have picked if I would have been in contact with Henyo back in the days. I would have been like, "Yo, brother, what's compatible with this, and how do I go about that?" I went into that cold, like blind. That's why I had, and I'm glad I had that experience though, because I can talk to other people about it. But it's not difficult at all.
No. No, you just gotta know what the hell you're buying.
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
But when you're dealing with a Charlie Brown head, which is that's.
I told you when you're ready for that process, I would help you. I'll hold you by the hand and I'll take you through the whole process.
I got my hardware in front of me if you want to talk about it now.
Yeah, hey, Jay, like Madonna, like a virgin. Okay, just touch for the very first time. I'll take you through the process.
Come on now, show me some love.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna tell you my hardware here.
All right, go for it.
I lifted up 2 boxes because I have everything in one. So, all right, I told you I'm an Asus guy. I've been a big Asus fan for a very long time.
Why Asus? Why Asus?
Stability, man. Stability.
Really?
I just don't have problems with this hardware.
Okay.
There has been, I can't think of a time in which I go, damn, I need to replace this motherboard, or something's not working on it. It's just I put it in, and maybe it's because I know what I'm doing, but it's just I put it in, and let me knock on wood here because I don't want nothing wrong going with this. But it just
it just works. It's great. It's like buying a car brand that it just works.
Yeah. So I got a Rogue Strikes, which is a Z390F Gaming.
Okay.
It's part of the Republic of Gamers series.
Okay.
And with that, I got a 9th generation Core i7 unlocked 9700K. Okay. Now, when I say unlocked, for the sake of Jay over there, it means I could overclock this thing.
Yeah, you can overclock. Get some more juice out of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And now, go ahead.
Go ahead. You want to say something?
Well, okay. Once again, for those that are listening, I am
suffering right now.
100% pure ignorant on computers. I'm talking dumbfounded. I ain't got a high school diploma on how to build a computer. Okay, so forgive my ignorance. So
it's
once
all right.
again. Wah.
You getting educated right now. That's all. Don't worry about it.
Come on now.
I'll get you.
Educated. So when you say overclock, what is the definition for that for those in the ignorant sphere like me?
So basically, a school bus is locked in at 55 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
A school bus cannot go, or a U-Haul rental truck cannot go over 55 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
Well, imagine being able to go faster than 80 miles an hour with a school bus. That's what it does.
That's kind of sexy.
Yeah. Imagine dragging down the street with a fast school bus.
You see, was that hard? Was that hard to understand? I like the way Henyo explained it. I would have never explained it that way. I would have been like, okay, listen, Jade, what it is that you get 2.3 hertz out of this. And then when you connect it and you tweak it with this program, and then you run this is what happens. And I would have left him like worse off. So
I would have stood there with this look on my face like, wait, what?
Yeah. Maybe that's why you haven't built a computer yet.
Let me finish this off here.
Okay, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, brother.
I got some Corsair low profile DDR4s,
Cool.
two 16 gig 3200 megahertz memory chips. Very nice. Vengeance LPX. So by
Nice.
Corsair. Those are going to be some beautiful fast processing memory chips there. And then I got myself not one but two M2 NVMe SSD cards.
Nice.
Basically, these are like you connect these into the motherboard, right? So it's not like a regular hard drive. You kind of it's like the motherboard has its own socket for these hard drives, so to speak.
Right.
And they basically what they allow to you to do is read data faster. So now when the computer is reading a program or a game, it processes just as fast as as it could process it as like the speed of reading is equivalent to the speed of processing almost. So
Nice.
and I got two of those chips, 1 terabyte and one 500 gigs, and
Nice.
that's not even including the extra stuff that's sitting in my computer now that I'll probably migrate over.
Okay.
And that's what I have. I just ordered a Noctua CPU cooler, which I got on sale, $61.
Nice.
Normally $109, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. And like we said, we're waiting on the PC monitor, and then the video card will come shortly thereafter.
What graphics card you running now?
Well, right now I'm running an older, I think it's a NVIDIA G1650 or something like that. It's an older, way older model.
Okay.
But it does the job. I don't have a problem running a game. It's just, new car.
Right.
You want a new car, you get a new car.
Yeah.
Now, is there a break-in effect for those stuff like that?
Break-in effect?
Like once you get it started, does it need a minute to like work right? Because I know sometimes you got to play with it to get it to work right.
Yeah. Again, if you know what you're doing, you're pretty good. Where I live at, I don't pay for electricity. It's part of the co-op. So my PC never shuts down.
Okay.
My PC runs 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days. My wife tells me to shut it down. What I do is just put it in sleep mode. And then when I just tap the keyboard and it wakes up again. But I love, so my PC's been running for years. I don't shut it down ever. So I break it in quick. Within a week, if my system isn't, if my system breaks, something's really wrong. So,
yeah, and some people swear by that. They're like, the PC is meant to just be on, and I mean that's why you have all that stuff in place.
That reminds me of the first time I opened, like I worked in an office, and I don't know if you're familiar with Outlook. Outlook is an email application, right?
Yeah.
So when I first started, I didn't really know about emails. I was all new to the whole scene, and so I'm sitting in my computer, and my boss comes around. He goes, "Hey, I've been trying to contact you," and I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And he's like, "I sent you an email," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, let me open it up." So I read the email and I close the application again, and like he comes by an hour later again. He goes, "I sent you another email. Did you read it?" And I'm like, "No, I closed the application."
Oh man.
Not realizing you're supposed to leave email open all the time.
Right.
I just kept shutting it down because I thought, "Hey, I'm done with it. I'm gonna close it."
Right.
So pretty funny that.
Yeah. I mean the things we experience, the things that we learn. I got one more question for you. What monitor are you? Well, a combined question. What monitor and what graphics card are you looking at?
All right, I'll definitely be on the NVIDIA side. Another product that I've always been with. I think I may have tried like ATI one time or two, a long time ago. I'm talking about Half-Life days. And to those who don't know Half-Life, go play it. I'm just an NVIDIA guy. I it just works. I put it in there. It doesn't break. It plays well.
Right.
Once you configure that stuff, you you play it. It's more configuring on the game side that you would change settings and stuff like that.
Right.
And as far as that stuff, monitor is still undecided. I'm looking at LG products.
Okay.
There's a particular model that's dropping in price now, but I don't know if it's going to be good in another year. Something else might come out that just tops it out. And I also probably look at an Asus monitor, but I'm still still looking around. I haven't committed to anything yet, which I need to, because I need to start building this PC.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Isn't that the problem? That you're always thinking, dang, if I get this, is something just like right around the corner?
Yeah, always.
That was one of the things that PC. That's why it never stuck with me earlier on in the days, because I was always like, I'm always gonna be putting money into this, and I ain't got no money.
Right. And for the most part, I was like that. I felt like I was upgrading every year, But then, you kind of start thinking ahead of the curve, and you're like,
Right.
okay, well, I'm gonna be going all out, so I'm gonna invest for the next 2 years, and you go out and you blow your money on the best hardware that you're gonna get more than a year's worth of.
Right. Right.
Nowadays guys, blow their money just because it's fancy, it's a nice color, it has RGB
lighting.
To be honest with you, the motherboard came with RGB lighting, and I really didn't even want it.
Why?
I don't. Who am I going to show this off to?
Yeah, you don't need it.
Yeah, that's an extra $20-$30 added to the motherboard price.
Right.
Right. The fans. What do I need lighting effects for? Literally no one comes visits me.
Right.
And if we're gonna play online. So and my wife doesn't think anything of it, so I don't think I could entice her
Yeah.
with an RGB color. So it's a little cost cutting effects like that. Instead of buying a colored RGB fan, which probably costs maybe $29, I'll just buy a regular black fan. It'll be $19.
Right.
And stuff like that. You buy the right hardware at the right price at the right time, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Let me see. So far here, I've managed to spend. I bought the processor and the. Man, I think I'm still on the. What? I'm well underneath $600 so far. And all I'm missing is a monitor. I'm missing a monitor and a Nvidia, a video card, which is where you're gonna really get hit.
Yes. Yep.
The monitor, you could get a decent monitor for $400 or less.
Yep.
Where they're gonna get you at is that video card.
Yep.
They know it, and you're just gonna make sacrifices.
Yeah, you got to bite the bullet somewhere, and when I built this computer, this graphics card that I got, I paid. That's like the most expensive thing in my setup.
Which one you got?
I got a 1080. I think it's an Asus, if I'm not mistaken.
A 1080? That's already considered old hardware.
Yeah, it's old.
Oh
it's
my
old.
God, are
it
you
is.
serious?
Yeah.
And it's a decent card.
Mm-hmm.
It is a decent card, and it's considered old.
Yeah, it's part of that republic of gaming as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like Asus, man.
And I'll tell you what, like your experience with it, same experience here. And I can run, because I just upgraded, because I was bottlenecking actually this card with my CPU, and then I just bumped it to an i5 from an i3, and I run 1440 nice, but my monitor sucks. I can't get the 1440 on there, so.
And that's why it's more important for me to get a monitor first before the video card,
right?
Because even if I had the money, even if I found $3,000 on the floor right now, and I go buy the video card, if I run it on this monitor,
yeah,
it's still gonna look like crap.
It's like you didn't do anything.
Yeah, it's like watching a Blu-ray movie on your old mother's TV
on
in
your CRT.
on your CRT.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got great, Blu-ray player and all this stuff, but if you don't have the proper visuals for it, you're gonna,
Right.
really.
Now, does that go with your monitor, getting a monitor as well? Like, do you need a monitor to match your power specs?
Yeah, that's your display.
Yeah, that's your display. That's what you're gonna be looking at.
Yeah. That's like you going out and buying the new Series X and playing it on, your black and white TV.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you want to put it on a TV that you're going to be able to get that 4K, that HDR. So it's the same thing with these. I remember playing Mega Man, the original Mega Man on PC. And like what you were saying earlier about Tony La Russa baseball, my friend put that on a little screen. It was probably like a 15-inch screen or something. But I was like, yo, I mean, the game looked night and day.
Love La Russa baseball. Go ahead.
It was just beautiful. Yeah, Tommy La Russa baseball. I played a lot of that baseball. But that Mega Man game, I was like, what? Like, he was playing it on the PC. And I was just like, wow, this game looks amazing. But anyways, guys.
Well, just to finish this off, on the console, one of the first things I started doing was using the S video feature on those consoles. When the consoles started coming out with S video, it was like, oh, great! I don't know how to use that coaxial, and you started seeing the image quality. That's when you started realizing, oh man, it'll always look better. It could always look better, and same to this day, it could always look better.
But isn't there a fine line though?
I think that can be a topic all of its own. Like, you got the arguments out there that do we even see, like, that with our eye, do we even see in 4K? Like, we don't see in 4K, but what's being presented in front of us and how it's being presented, like I said, I've seen games on a 1080 monitor, but in ultra settings, running on a PC, of course, and the game looks like it's 4K. I could put a 4K TV next to it and look at the screens and go, which one is which? And it's amazing. It's amazing what you can do when, again, you have the hardware and you're running it on the right displays. There's just stuff that as console gamers, we gripe and we argue and we fight and all this other stuff. But if you've never been exposed to the PC side, and I never meant for the conversation to go PC, but the reality is that it's there. I mean, the convenience of console gaming is just that. The convenience of, I got a controller, I don't got to think about upgrading anything. It's just plug and play and go. But it's a closed system. And it's only going to take you but so far. I'm excited about PlayStation now putting their games, eventually, their games are all going to come to PC. And I would love to play a lot of those games on PC.
That would be kind of sexy.
Yeah. I mean Horizon Zero Dawn is already on there. And what's the other one where you carry packages?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding is on PC, right?
Also known as your Amazon delivery guy certification test.
You said you got your certification because you ended the game, right? How long did it take you to end that game?
Well, okay. Number one, the game technically never ends.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Technically it never ends.
Wow.
But you could play it to the end. There is a final boss and all that, but even after that, the game really doesn't end. The storyline is almost like you could continue playing. They made that really smooth transition that, oh snap, the game hasn't really ended. Like, the credits have rolled and you're walking around and the story's like, summarizing up and everything, and all of a sudden you're like, why am I running this mission?
Wow. Okay. You can just get caught in that Twilight Zone, huh?
Yeah, and you're like,
Wow.
oh, I thought this game ended. It did end, by the way, but why am I still delivering packages? And it's part of the story, man. Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry. I don't mean to
That's
The
be.
game is beautiful. The game is
that's
beautiful.
that's crazy.
You feel lonely when you're playing it.
Hmm.
Like it's so immersive that you actually feel lonely. Like you're like, man, I'm alone.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it looks good.
That's
Keith what's this guy's name from The Walking Dead? Oh,
Oh, Revis or Regis or whatever
Revis.
his name is. Yeah, something like that.
Oh man, so good.
Really?
For a PlayStation game, and obviously the maker of the game, I'm trying to pronounce his name right. I'll probably get it wrong.
Hideo Kojima.
Yes.
Hideo
Uh,
Kojima.
I saw plenty of interviews of him, throughout this game and stuff like that. And it's a good game. You just gotta be, you gotta be into it. And I think I was into it. Like I wanted to play it.
Mm,
Not it's a slow game.
okay.
So you want to have to you really want to play the game. It's not, it's
Mm.
not like I don't know. It's not like GTA. It's not like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got, I'm gonna play this game. It's you gonna want to have to play this game.
You gotta be
Yeah,
in that mode. Yeah.
right. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't
I
see
hear
too
you.
many people picking it up and just going, okay, what now? It's
Right.
more like you gotta immerse yourself in it. So
Yeah. That's how I had to be in a state of mind to actually have jumped into The Last of Us and see that game through. Like I really wanted to play it, and that's why I ended the game finally. Like after 3 times of trying to go through it. Um, but that's how I'm feeling about Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I'm actually
mm,
chipping away at it, but I want to play that game. So, it's always like in the back of my
yeah,
mind, I'm thinking about it. I want to play it, and I get to it and I put some hours into it. But that's cool.
Yes,
Anyway,
sir.
guys, I think I'm going to shut it down. We've come to the end of another
no.
episode. Anybody got anything to add? I mean, I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere, but I'm just saying.
I'm just gonna add a note here. I
Sure,
made a
go for
note
it.
to myself. Uh, leaving the Xbox Pass system is gonna be Devil May Cry 5.
Oh yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you haven't played that, now's your chance. I was never into the Devil May Cry series, and Kingdom Come is leaving,
I've
and
never checked that
Yugo
out.
Island Express is leaving. So that's one of the faults in this X Gaming, X Game Pass.
Yeah,
The games
a
come
Game
and
Pass.
go.
Yeah.
Some are staples, but others, will come and go with the tide, and you'll get a new set of games in a couple of days, and we'll see what else comes down the pipe.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yep. I think that and again, I'm going to be making a video here. Hopefully it's gonna probably have to be like Saturday and just on xCloud, because I think that until
Yeah,
until Microsoft doesn't come out and fully reveal xCloud and release it to like everyone under Game Pass, I mean that's a known fact. There's just people not talking about it, and
right.
it's one of the biggest things that I think is going to really change gaming, because you're going to be bringing in a whole lot of people on a casual level, and more people playing more games means more sales, more money means more development, means more games, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I agree.
I'll ask you a question on that. I
Yeah.
mean, do you think they're kind of sort of sitting there looking at what happened with Google and Stadia and going, not right now, not yet. Uh, I think one of the things that killed Google Stadia was its throughput to push games.
Hmm.
And from what I understand, xCloud is a similar type of setup in which you're going to be streaming your game, um, or you're going to be relying on that internet connection
Hmm.
to play the game. Do you think they're just kind of saying, let's make sure this is done right as far as bandwidth and network connectivity, or maybe we should just leave it here for the next topic,
Well,
for the next time?
the short and sweet on that. Well, You know what? Let's discuss it. I'll say this: Xbox. This is not something that they just started working on a year, 2 years, 3 years ago. They've been working on this for a decade, or more. The infrastructure was already there. They were building it, and timing. A lot of this stuff is technology kind of catching up with what you want to do and it being available so that you can do it right. And so Xbox has been working on this cloud gaming and the infrastructure. Their blades, the server blades right now are all Xbox One S blades. That's what you got there. And they're getting ready to convert those. And now with the launch of the Xbox Series X, they're looking to switch those blades out. And so that's going to bump up tremendously the service. Not to mention that, internet, 5G. The thing that killed Stadia was the delivery system, the lack of games. They don't have no studio, no games. They had to rely on games that were already out, that are already on other platforms, and they're trying to sell you a 2, 3, 4-year-old game that you can get on Game Pass for free through a subscription. And people are like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I know of people that have Stadia and they said, you know what? It works great. Like, it works great on my home. I have the connection. It's everything that they say it is, but they just don't have that content. They don't have that infrastructure in place. And Xbox does. They've positioned themselves to the point where I've said it before, and it's a known fact. Sony has penned a deal with them to use the Azure cloud to get their games transitioned over to their model of whether they're going to reboot PS Now or they're going to scrap it and do something totally different. But they needed that, and they didn't have that, and Xbox did. Microsoft does, I should say. So Microsoft is sitting in a really good position now. They released the beta, you might say, back in October. I was fortunate to get into it. I gave a lot of feedback. I left some comments in there as to, there was some games that played nice. There was other games that definitely there was like lag, input lag, streaming, just wasn't there. And they made a lot of changes between October and now. I've seen a lot of the feedback has been acted upon, and I'm expecting some really good things. It's not there. It's not going to replace console gaming. But for the casual who is just going to connect on a phone with a controller, they can play, their games, and they're not going to mind that maybe there's a little bit of input lag. Maybe it's not the quality that you're going to see on a big screen TV and whatnot, but they're sitting in a really, really, really good position right now, and making it a part of Game Pass, I think, is genius because it's exposure. It's all it is exposure and expanding your market. There's countries that Xbox just hasn't done. Microsoft hasn't done their due diligence to really get themselves into that market. We were talking about reward points not too long ago, the Bing points. That's something we benefit from here in the United States. But there's other countries, they don't have that. They don't have Bing points or Microsoft rewards. And so Microsoft still has a lot of work to get into these other places in the world. That's why they want the Series X to be a worldwide launch. They don't want to make the same mistake that they did when they launched the Xbox One. Where it was kind of segmented. But cloud gaming can go into countries where people are used to the mobile scene. I think China is one of those places. People game China on their phones.
You're talking Asia, basically.
Asia, yeah. And, that's a no-brainer to get to where people are playing. And that's what I like about Microsoft. They're not hung up on you buying a console because they know that that is software. For them, it's all about that software. That's where they're making that money. So if you got a PC, you're in their ecosystem. If you got a console, you're in their ecosystem. You got a tablet, you got a phone that you can put Game Pass or I wasn't going to say Game Pass on. xCloud Gaming, it's an app and you can access it through there. You're in their ecosystem. And so it's genius, but it's been something that has been in the works for quite some time. And again, I don't think it's 100% there, but they should be ready to do a soft launch and continue supporting it. And they're going to bring in a lot of people into it. A lot of people are going to be like pleasantly surprised. Will it kill Stadia? And is Google going to go away? The only way that Google Stadia is going to go away is if they decide to, because Google got money. They can put money into that and be a viable platform in X amount of years.
But Google is a business, and Google's a business. And the more money they lose, the more they'll drop it. I mean, it's just
yeah. But we understand that. But think about Microsoft and their latest failure was Mixer. They developed Mixer, and Mixer was supposed to be for them the platform that they were going to spread, their gaming, again, to expose their software. And it didn't work out. Twitch grew during the pandemic. YouTube grew. All these other platforms grew, and Mixer didn't. And Xbox finally said, you know what? It's not working. And they scrapped it. But they put money into Mixer. A lot of money. But for a company that is billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars rich over, it's a drop in the bucket. And that's Google. That's Google, Amazon. They got money coming out the woodworks. So they can easily buy up companies. They can buy developers. They can set up studios, which is what they should have done. Create games, create exclusive software, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But they didn't. They said, we're just going to launch this and make all these promises. And they wasn't thinking.
I agree.
So, that's all it is. I hope they stay. I hope they stick around because I want somebody to compete with Microsoft. I don't want Microsoft to have a monopoly, just like I don't want PlayStation to have a monopoly, just like I don't want PC gaming to have a monopoly. I want competition.
So basically, you don't want it to become an EA Sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want it. Like look at WB right now. Their AT&T owns WB, and they're looking to, sell off those developers and stuff. So you're looking at these developer of games, who make Mortal Kombat, who make Batman, but they're not looking to sell them off. They're looking to sell them. But all those rights to those characters and stuff, they're going to license that out. They're all about making that money. And who's in talks for that? Microsoft, because Microsoft got the money. Sony can't because Sony don't got Microsoft money. If they did, they would be in it. But they can't because they don't got that money. PlayStation, the console, is what makes the money for Sony. Is their most profitable division. So that's, that's why Sony is still pushing the hardware, because that's where they're making their money.
Yeah.
That's why they can't move from looking at hardware based to software based. They can't do it because their model and what they depend on is selling those consoles. That's where they make their money. Yeah, they make money with the software, but they got to get you the hardware first. That's why I'm really interested how they going to price these machines. That's what I want to see, because Sony can't afford to lose money on hardware. Xbox could. And Xbox will eat it hardware wise just to get their machine or their PC or whatever platform you have, so they can sell you the software and they can sell you Game Pass. That's where they're going to make their money.
That ought to be sexy.
Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. Man, we took this one longer. Did that answer your question? Maybe more than enough.
No, it's opening up the communications for a topic for next time.
Yeah. We'll get to it, guys. But thank you for hanging out, for being here. That's what happens. Sometimes we just, go off the deep end. I've had some great time having these conversations. Jay, thank you for being here as always. Henyo, for coming back. Like I said, the door's open. I'm going to let you guys say your farewells, and then I'm going to shut it down here. Jay, what do you got to say?
Gaming is a wonderful thing. Those of you who are beginning in it, or those of us that have been in it for many, many, many moons, keep your games drama free, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's the only way to live, and it's the best way to enjoy your games.
Henyo, speak your piece.
Man. I'm just gonna say, it's good time to own systems, man. Play. I enjoy gaming, and if everyone's smart, they're playing a game instead of being on this podcast.
you hear Jay's controller, right?
Yeah, exactly.
He's playing that Dragon Ball. It's like
crack.
What?
Why you gotta jump on me at the end? Really? You jump on me on the end?
I'm gonna go see this brother in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna have to pull the control right out of his hand. He's like, I can't.
Now I'm gonna make this. This brother's coming to visit, so everybody knows, and I'm gonna make him play Dragon Ball.
Oh man, I'll play it. I'll amuse you.
I wouldn't want to embarrass you like that. You a grown man. I hate to hurt your pride.
It's all right. It's all right. I don't take it personal. I'm going to try to take a page from Henyo. He influenced me and gave me the courage to delete Division 2 off of my hard drive. I got that last week. This week, I got to take a page from him and try to focus in and lock in on some games that I want to complete, like see through.
Yeah,
so,
like Resident Evil?
Ooh.
I don't know about that, but, we'll see.
I mean, this brother got a series. You got a series started.
I got a series on that. I got a series on The Walking Dead, Telltale. It's okay.
God, I've avoided that one.
It's okay.
That's a series I've avoided.
Telltale?
Man, Telltale was
Walking Dead, Telltale? It's good, man.
Telltale's a beast, man.
It's good.
I know it is. I'm avoiding it.
You're avoiding it?
Telltale Batman's a beast, too.
Oh, man. Anyways, I don't want to get back into another conversation, but guys, thank you for hanging out. Catch us at youtube.com/drama free gaming. Catch us on anchor.fm DFG podcast. You can hear us on iTunes. You can hear us on Spotify. You can hear us on Pocket Cast and other platforms out there. But check us out. Share the link. Share this video. Give a thumbs up. If you like the content, even remotely, maybe subscribe. Check out some of the other stuff that we have here. And until the next time, wishing you well. Keep your life and your gaming, people, drama free. Later.
Peace.
Later.